Alright, so I made a video about the popular dividend income ETF, TSLY, and it appears my video made the way into the Reddit community of all these YieldMax shareholders because my video was bombarded with hate comments. So of course, I'm going to continue milking the views, and I'm going to be reading over some of those comments today and reaffirming my opinion on it. And you guys already know me, none of this is personal, but I'm not just going to let people that look like this talk to me online and not get away with it without getting some money and views in the process. So you guys, if you're now new here, I promote real man's investing on this channel, actually buying businesses for future free cash flows and getting paid a lot of money in the process of doing that. So if that sounds fun to you, hit that subscribe button for me. Check out the Cash Flow Kings live channel. We're live every Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern. And of course, roll the intro.
Hello, I like money.
Alright, I'm going to quickly recap last video that I made on TSLY. Go watch that full thing if you want to see why I'm never going to touch it in the first place. To start off, I just want to make a clarification. I do think it's reasonable to hold it as a very short-term holding just to kind of park some cash in. But even there, I don't like that. I'd rather just put it in a high-yield savings account. To start off, the reasons I don't like it is too dependent on the volatility of these stocks that it basically invests in. It's underperforming the S&P 500 by a wide margin. Over the last 3 years, the S&P 500 has performed up 31.29%. While TSLY, and this is total return too, including like their 50% dividend yield, is only up 14%. And we haven't even gone through like a crazy tough economic time either. And over the last year, it's even still underperformed the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is up 20%, while this is only up 14%. You're not investing in a business itself, which I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that. Just me personally, it's not my kind of thing. I like to buy assets that compound for 40 and 50 years. This is a parking spot for maybe a year or two while I can collect a 50% dividend yield just to underperform. Also, apparently to the misconception of many of these shareholders of the YieldMax ETFs, dividends are not free money. If I wanted a 50% dividend yield, I could sell half of my stake of Microsoft right now. I could make a homemade dividend. It's nothing different. Alright, get your popcorn ready. I'm going to responding to all the TSLY comments, and apparently this really did get shared on the subreddit because a lot of people commented on this and a lot of people disliked it. It all went to plan, and I got a lot of views off of it. TSLY is the best investment that I've made in the 25 years of investing. It's making my retirement and paying me the equivalent of 3 Social Security checks per month. Alright, where do I start? To start off, best investment you made in 25 years of investing, that's the millions of people who buy an index fund are outperforming you to start off. If you would have just bought the S&P 500 index fund, you could have sold part of that and you would have got a larger return than what you're getting right now with your 50% dividend yield that's inconsistent. Also, if you would have held for longer, you also could have probably got tax benefits as well with holding longer. So I mean, yeah, this is just kind of comes back to the misconception that this guy thinks that dividends are free money. Dividends are not free money. You could have sold the S&P 500, made that investment, and made more money at the end of the day. There you go. And I should clarify, some of these comments were actually somewhat respectful, but I picked the ones that weren't. I probably liked the comments that were respectful. I'm not against you whatsoever if you actually own these, YieldMax ETFs to be their own. This guy said first example is disingenuous. As you know, you're supposed to reinvest the dividends. But what if you use the dividends to buy the underlying stock or Apple or VTI? I would say to that, why not use that money that you have in TSLY right now and put it in Tesla in the first place if you believe that much in the company and get your compounding started? Alright, next, Big Rob Smith comes in and he asks, if you believe in Tesla, you could be an investor in TSLY. It's for people who are retired and looking for income. The trick is that these ETFs pay over 10% to make sure that you get paid when it's coming back to the ETF. Then it will automatically grow and make your dividend higher. I use it to pay for my mortgage and take vacations. You can use anything to pay for your mortgage and take vacations, believe it or not, Rob. You can invest in the S&P 500 and get a better return, and you have even more money left over if you're going to sell. In all seriousness, so this goes back to my things that dividends are free money. Dividends are not free money whatsoever. And Rob does not understand that. You could use the S&P 500, you could have put money in there, and you'd have even more left over. I guess he does make a point that it's for people that are retired and want dividend income, but I don't understand why you wouldn't just buy like Altria, SCHD, or companies like that. Alright, the next one is good. We got Tyler Trusky coming in. He says, Tesla goes up, so does TSLY. Tesla goes down. Perfect dollar cost average and earn more yield. It's a covered call ETF and a fantastic tool if you don't want to play options yourself. I'm making lots of cash from TSLY. I highly recommend it. Well, hate to break it to you, dummy, but the person who's buying an S&P 500 index fund who probably doesn't even know anything about investing is still making more than you at the end of the day. So have fun with your 50% dividend yield. And then I called him dumber than a bag of rocks, which I speak the truth. And then I invited him on the Discord because I truthfully, if you have an issue with me, you don't like my $1,000 net worth and saying that I'm going to retire when I'm 70 because I'm chickenish to bear volatility apparently, currently, even though I invest in companies like Target. Please just come onto the Discord with that energy, and we'll have plenty of other people that would love to talk about YieldMax with you. So Tyler, enjoy your 50% dividend yield and 50% underperformance over the next 5 years. Then we got Ron Kraft coming in. He says, I don't agree, but that's fine. Stop referring to YieldMax investors as dummies, and I won't refer you to use a timid investor as very low risk tolerance, as I've invested in companies like Target. Hot flash, investing involves risk. You sound like a good candidate for CDs. Ron, I didn't call YieldMax investors dummies. It's only people like you. If you're calling TSLY risky, I don't understand why you take that risk for underperformance. Doesn't make much sense to me, but have fun. And by the way, CDs will probably have a better return than them in 20 years. You're comparing apples to oranges. TSLY is a dividend-oriented, not as a growth stock. Yes, obviously, guys, I know that, but at the same time, dividends are not free money. This goes back to my point, and this kind of shows for some of these comments, the education level of these investors, let's just say that. And guys, I'm not claiming to be some crazy investor, and I'm not claiming to be any better than any of you guys or whatever, but you can't be coming onto here and, claiming dividends are free money and that you're getting all this yield and you're paying for vacations with it when you could sell your S&P 500 and pay for it and have even more money left over. This comment is a good reminder for me, by the way, that I haven't done my ad promo yet. Insulting investors and Redditors. This is how I knew I got it out to Reddit, right at the start, and then begging for money, LOL. And this one got a lot of comments. So this gives me my reminder, if you guys haven't already, become a channel member today. Links in the description. Get access to a bunch of perks, a stock market competition that you guys will probably perform better than the TSLY investors, and so much more perks. So go check that out. Link in the description. I need money. Or if you don't have the money, which I would understand if I'm making a TSLY video right now, smash that like button, subscribe because it's free. We got please talk slowly. You're rushing through this. And there's a simple solution to that. You just got to slow the video down. We got Bear Squeezer, that's a pretty good name. SMH, your total return chart does not include dividends. That's a little conflicting. And of course, this guy's name is ETFeasy.com. Total returns include dividends. Newsflash. This was another pretty good comment. Glenn comes in. He says, if a voice was punchable, yours would be it. However, you make good points. All in TSLY. And then we got T Diddlers coming in with LOL. And my one response is do something about it. If I have a punchable voice, come do something about it. So Glenn, have fun with your underperformance. Yeah, do something about it. Alright, Big TJ comes in. He says, clueless. I'll give you a like just for your desperation. Which gives me another reminder, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. It's free. But thank you, TJ. I appreciate the like. Feel inclined to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Uploads Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and some bonus uploads throughout the week sometimes. Alright, we have Carl Schreiber coming in. He said, let me guess, you recommend SCHD. And, yeah, look at that chart. And by the way, I'm none to brag about short-term performance either. I think that's kind of stupid, but I just kind of think that it is ironic that he commented that. We have the smartest man on the earth, Telekeen505. He says, I don't know, man, but I got paid over 6 months. This goes back to my point, guys. Dividends aren't free money, believe it or not. Yeah, sure, you could have got paid over 6 months, but if you would have put that money into an S&P 500 index fund again and again, you would have had more capital at the end of the day. You could have got paid over a year if you put it in the S&P 500. And this is the last comment, guys, and I think this guy gives the last one a run for his money when it comes to the wittiest man on the planet. Microsoft $360 per share and only paying 60 cents per share dividend. That's what I call a no-go. Who says any of us will be around in 30 years to see that total return? YieldMax is changing the way things happen, just like Robinhood. It's a whole new world. Good luck paying $360 for one stock that only pays a 60-cent dividend. There's just so many places I could go with this. I don't even know if I can right now to bring myself to it. You heard it here first, guys. YieldMax and Robinhood is changing the world right now, and Microsoft sucks. 60-cent dividends. Sell, sell, sell. Alright, my last message to all the YieldMax investors for now. Please share this video on Reddit, of course, with your entire community, and come flame me in the comment section again. I greatly appreciate it. Helps with the algorithm a lot. Alright, I greatly appreciate it. This wasn't personal whatsoever to the YieldMax investors. A little fun on here. Not all you guys are stupid, but some of you guys are. In my opinion, it's trash, but it's not my cup of tea also, so there it is. Thank you all. Make sure to do dividend stocks, out drugs. Have a good one.